Hey everybody, it's Casey Williams. Like a lot of you, I'm starting to realize how expensive cars have become. And it really came home to me this week when I received the 2024 Hyundai Kona. Of course, we have the limited edition of it, but it had a window sticker almost $35,000. This is a vehicle that's only the second rung up from the smallest and least expensive Hyundai. But after driving it for a week, after spending a lot of time in it and getting with it, there really is a lot of value in this vehicle, and it might just be worth the price. Let's go have a look at it. The Kona we have this week is gasoline powered, but there is also an EV version of this. And I think you can really see that in the styling of it too. And all the styling cues do connect it to the other Hyundai EVs, the Ioniq series. But I like what they've done with the style. I like the clean front of it. I like the light across the front of it. I like the LED headlamps that are down here in the lower bumper. I think it just looks, again, just really clean, really cool, and super modern. Come around the side. There's really not a lot of pretension for doing off-roading in this vehicle, but it does look the part with the black side cladding on it. 19-inch alloy wheels, I think they look really good. I like the roofline too. I like this chrome that comes up, kind of the basket handle look. But also some of the other styling ties it to other Hyundai models. The side creasing here. Again, all the way around, I think it just looks really dynamic, looks really fresh, super modern, and you'd absolutely believe it was an EV if you didn't know it had a gas engine underneath of it. Come around the back. It's really kind of a repeat of the front. You got the tail lamps here in the lower fascia. I also have the light bar across the back. Power hatch. It is actually foot activated also. Inside, it's not super roomy, but it's a compact crossover. You don't need a lot of room. Actually has a spare tire, which is kind of rare in this class. Usually it's anymore it's an inflator kit, but you actually have a spare tire. Back seat, split fold down, so if you're into bicycling, doing outdoor stuff, camping, whatever, you have plenty of space for that too. Well, one of the areas where I think the Kona really looks its price is in the interior. Sure, if you start tapping around, there's a lot of hard plastic in here, and you might say that at a certain price point, that becomes borderline unacceptable. But it is all really nicely done. It's nicely textured. It's nicely colored. It looks expensive, and I think works really well. I even like kind of the aluminum look here on the console. Looks very nice too. So I think that's all really well done. And then the seats are super comfortable. They're faux leather. They're not real leather, but I don't think they need to be. And honestly, in my experience, even in Mercedes and some upper end German cars, getting the fake leather actually is much better. It wears better. You can wash it down. It looks good for many, many years. I think it's probably a good option for a lot of people. But I like these seats. They're very supportive. I like the headrests. They're comfortable. And, being a luxury vehicle, at least in terms of price, has a lot of features on it. You got heated ventilated front seats. We got heated rear seats, a heated leather wrapped steering wheel. And I really like this steering wheel, kind of the semi-flat bottom on it. It just feels very comfortable in your hands. Of course, the single screen gauges and infotainment system, all very clear and crisp and easy to use. I like their system where you can just swipe through the different apps. Very simple. I've got it on Apple CarPlay with my phone. Wireless charging on this one, so you just throw the phone in there, connects wirelessly with Apple CarPlay. All very nice. Again, I like how the climate control is laid out. You got dual zone automatic climate control, button for all the different functions, very easy to get to it. And a big plus, and I wish all automakers would do this, no matter what else you do with the infotainment system, please just leave a proper volume and tuning knob. It just feels nice around the road. It's easy to reach down. You don't have to look down, and it just makes the driving experience a lot easier. A lot of space in here. Big glove compartment. You got storage here as well. It's not a panoramic roof, but you do have a power sunroof. The Bose audio system in this vehicle sounds fantastic. Love the way it sounds. It'd be nice if there's a heads-up display, but you don't necessarily need one. And being Hyundai, this has, you name the crash avoidance system, this vehicle has it. Automatic emergency braking, lane keep assist, blind spot warning. It's got rear cross path detection with auto brake. One of the things I don't necessarily love though, when it detects something coming, especially with rear cross path detection, it vibrates the steering wheel. When you're backing up and it beeps constantly in my own driveway, vibrates. I don't really need all that. A simple little beep and a recognition and reminder is fine. I don't need the auto brake. I was trying to back it out of a parking lot at the coffee shop the other day. Nothing coming. It was just tight. It was just constant auto brake. It was even detecting things out on the roads. I think it's a little annoying. But one of the other features I really do like from a safety perspective is safe exit assist. So it uses the blind spot system, and if there are cars coming, it will keep you from stepping into traffic. So as I'm complaining about the auto brake, I do really appreciate that sometimes it intervenes and keeps you safe. So one of the things I really didn't expect was the driving experience from the Kona. It has really been a joy. The base Kona starts with a 2-liter 4-cylinder engine, delivers 147 horsepower. But this is a limited, so we get the 1.6-liter turbocharged 4-cylinder, delivering a lot peppier 190 horsepower, 195 pound-feet of torque. This has all-wheel drive, and with all-wheel drive comes a 4-wheel independent suspension system. And besides having plenty of power, it just drives like a nice upscale German car. And a lot of compact crossovers, you hit a bump, it absorbs it, but just kind of thunky on the road. This one is just like dual motion, just absorbs it and then tames it, and feels a lot more like you'd expect from Volkswagen, Audi, even Mercedes at the lower end. So a very mature vehicle in the way it handles and the way it drives. Gas mileage is pretty good. This has an 8-speed automatic transmission, which I actually do like because you don't have a continuously variable transmission as in a lot of cars, so it feels very natural. You always get the right revs where you need them. And fuel economy is also good too. So 24 miles per gallon in the city, 29 miles per gallon on the highway. You might say, well, 29 miles per gallon in a subcompact crossover is not great, but that's a lot of power. 200 horsepower in a vehicle this size with all-wheel drive, that's pretty competitive as far as fuel economy goes too. But again, it's just really been a joy to drive. What I've liked, it's the right size to drive in the city. It's easy to park, it's easy to maneuver, but it's also very comfortable on the highway. It's very mature, very settled, and the suspension, the steering are just really nicely tuned. It doesn't matter if you're going over rough city streets or really just settling in on the highway. It just feels very, very nice. So back to the price we talked about earlier. This vehicle, as equipped, everything on it, does come in just under $35,000. But you can buy a Kona for $24,250 base vehicle. And I think a lot of people would really like that vehicle too. It doesn't feel cheap. It's very nicely executed, lots of space in it, and it'd be perfectly fine to drive every single day. But if you want all the luxury features in a vehicle that, honestly in today's age, isn't a $50,000 vehicle, which is what a lot of vehicles are becoming with the options this has on it, I think it's a pretty good value. Hyundai's known for its value, and I think at the end of the day, if you drove this vehicle for a couple weeks and lived with it, I think you'd be very, very happy with everything that's on it. Well, next week we'll have another fun car. Until then, storm forward.